So Naruto versus Luffy has become a pretty controversial topic in matchup in recent years, especially with Luffy's new Gear 5th. So today I'm going to look at both characters scaling, both abilities, and see who comes out on top. I'll start off by scaling both these characters. Of course, there are multiple ways to approach this. I'll be using a combination of feats and databook statements while providing my own interpretation. I understand that some people dislike the Naruto databooks, but I'll explain why I believe they're a valid source of information and context and clarification of feats. First, addressing the Naruto databooks, many of the issues with them are simply mistranslations. For example, the infamous Kakashi omnipotent statement, when translated from the original Japanese, actually means that Kakashi is competent in all areas, essentially describing him as a well-rounded ninja rather than omnipotent. However, not every databook statement suffers from translation inconsistencies. Many are direct and unambiguous. In this analysis, I'll retranslate the relevant statements and use my best judgment to determine their validity and consistency with the story. That being said, I won't be using any One Piece planet scaling as I haven't found any solid evidence to determine its exact size compared to Earth. Some claims suggest that Dressrosa is the size of Australia or the US, which would place One Piece planet around star level. However, considering you can see bridges from Skyview, I found those claims questionable. Most islands seem to be roughly the size of small countries or individual states. Compared to Naruto databook statements, One Piece planet scaling is much less concrete and consistent. Even if you were to assume the One Piece planet is slightly larger than the Earth, there's nothing confirming that the Naruto world is the same size as our planet. In Boruto and the last Naruto movie, the Naruto world appears to have a different planetary structure. For attack potency scaling, both verses have interesting benchmarks of planetary level characters, particularly half of Kurama in Naruto and Whitebeard in One Piece. Half of Kurama has a statement of being able to easily turn the world to ash, while Whitebeard is said to have the power to destroy the world. However, both these statements can be interpreted in less literal ways. Whitebeard's statement, for instance, comes from Sengoku, who has likely never witnessed him destroy a planet, so it could simply mean Whitebeard has the power to overthrow the current world government and society. Even with that being the case, he would likely still be at continental or multi-continental levels of power, given the destruction he caused at Marineford. Similarly, Kurama's statement could be seen as hyperbole or referring to surface level destruction, which would also place him at continental to multi-continental. Kurama, along with the other Biju, can fire Biju bombs, attacks with immense destructive power large enough to visibly show the curvature of the planet. Characters like Hashirama and Madara have shown similar levels of destruction through abilities like Susanoo and the Thousand-Armed Buddha, and they've shown the capability to overpower the Nine Tails through sheer force and hacks. Whitebeard, on the other hand, has shown the ability to shift tectonic plates and flood or destroy entire islands. Even in his old age, he was superior to characters like Aokiji and Akainu, who fought for days and altered the terrain of an entire island. Now, for both these characters, I believe I established a good range of their capabilities, with half of Kurama and old Whitebeard being anywhere from continental to planetary, depending on interpretation, or if it's the full Nine Tails and prime healthy Whitebeard. For Naruto scaling, in KCM2 he has access to all of Kurama's chakra along with his own, placing him around multi-continental to planetary in AP. He also upscales from characters like Pain, who is capable of destroying the entire Leaf Village. This power boost alone puts him in a similar tier of chakra as Hashirama, who was able to overpower the full Nine Tails and was relative to EMS Madara. Hashirama also demonstrated the ability to restrain the Nine Tails, which should be stronger than Kurama, and is stated to have planetary levels of chakra. Madara later became the 10 Tails Jinchuriki, massively upscaling and surpassing Hashirama and KCM2 Naruto with Sage Mode. This version of Madara should scale beyond planetary, and after attaining both the Rinnegan and absorbing the God Tree, could range anywhere from large planetary to star level. Naruto, upon obtaining Sage's 6 Paths mode, was able to fight and contend with this version of Madara. In this form, he is able to damage characters like Kaguya, though he was still inferior to her. This would place Naruto anywhere from large planetary to star level, but still below Kaguya, who could create entire dimensions containing stars, moons, and planets. Luffy has also demonstrated impressive feats such as creating a fist attack the size of a small island and being able to injure Kaido, who boasts their ability superior to anyone Luffy has previously encountered, including Marineford Whitebeard. Luffy has also fought characters like Shinjao, who could split islands with a single blow, an impressive large country to continental level feat. However, Shinjao was past his prime at the point he fought Luffy. Luffy also faced Doflamingo, a character vastly superior to that version of Luffy who defeated Shinjao. Doflamingo himself was capable of destroying all of Dressrosa, while Luffy managed to destroy a significant portion of the island. Since then, Luffy has progressed far beyond his Dressrosa self, especially in Wano where he has accessed Gear 5, as well as improvements and advancements in his haki. While Kaido is undoubtedly powerful, I believe he is still below characters like Roger and Prime Whitebeard, who have planetary level statements from databook entries and Sengoku's claims. Since Luffy is on Kaido's level and superior in Gear 5, this will place him somewhere between multi-continental to planetary, or even large planetary on the high end. While speed is more directly addressed in One Piece with light-based attacks, in Naruto, speed measurements are rare and the series doesn't often feature light-based attacks that can serve as a baseline. However, databooks and certain in-series feats provide useful context for scaling. One of the earliest speed feats in Naruto comes from Haku's jutsu, which allows him to move at the speed of light by reflecting himself within the mirrors. A Kurama Amp Naruto is able to react to this. Though this feat is debatable, some might argue Haku wasn't going all out, and it is very early in this series for light speed feats. A more reliable feat comes from Itachi's water bullet jutsu, which is stated in the data book to move at light speed. During the invasion of the Hidden Leaf with Kisame, Kakashi was able to weave his jutsu fast enough to block this attack. This feat is more believable given Kakashi's reputation and previous feats, such as intercepting a lightning strike as a child. Given that Shinobi improved significantly from childhood to adulthood, it is reasonable to assume Kakashi became at least 3 times faster than his younger self. Another lightspeed feat comes from Sasuke's Karen Jutsu, which is noted in the databook as a lightspeed attack. However, Zetsu claims it moves at a different speed, creating a potential inconsistency. One could question Zetsu's reliability as a narrator, and it's arguable that the databook is a more objective source. Regardless, Kirin's lightspeed scaling remains somewhat consistent with the established feats. Further supporting the scaling is the Raikage's Lightning Cloak, which is stated to allow him to move at light speed. Naruto, even in his weaker KCM1 form, is able to move faster than the Raikage. Additionally, Darui's Laser Circus technique consists of beams of light, meaning it should travel at light speed. During a coordinated attack, Darui, Gaara, and others fire techniques simultaneously, and the manga and anime both depict them traveling at the same speed, and hitting Sasuke at the same moment. This consistency aligns with the previous statements, such as water bullet jutsu being light speed, suggesting higher tier jutsu can move at such speeds and characters can react accordingly. Finally, the strongest piece of evidence comes from Sage's 6-path Naruto dodging Madara's Light Fang at point blank range, further solidifying light speed or greater reaction speeds. With all this evidence, it's fair to place Naruto at light speed on the low end and faster than light on the high end, with jutsus potentially reaching massively faster than light speeds. While one could argue Naruto's movement speed also reaches MFTL depending on certain interpretations, that might be a bit of a stretch to justify. One of Luffy's earliest speed feats comes from his fight with Foxy, who uses Noro beams, a light-based attack that bounces off surface like mirrors. This is somewhat comparable to Haku's ice mirrors in Naruto, as both are early series lightspeed feats that could be debated for consistency and character scaling and progression. A more significant feat occurs when the Straw Hats face Kuma, who stated his attacks move at light speed. Zoro was able to successfully dodge these attacks, though some may argue whether Kuma was going all out. Additionally, after the time skip, Luffy was able to dodge light-based attacks in base form while standing a distance from them. A major benchmark for speed in One Piece is Kizaru, who is explicitly stated to have attacks and movement at light speed. Through the series, Kizaru consistently demonstrates speed superior over most characters, especially the Straw Hats before the time skip, and it can be argued that Kizaru has gotten stronger and even faster since then. In Egghead, Luffy in Gear 5 has been shown to go toe-to-toe with Kizaru, implying his speed is at least comparable while Kizaru was generally still faster. With all this evidence, Luffy should scale to FTL on a mid to low end with MFTL speeds on the high end. By the time Naruto gets his Sage 6 pass form, he has a multitude of different abilities he has access to. Flight, regeneration, Senjutsu or Sage Chakra, which provides enhanced sensory capabilities including precognition similar to the Sharingan, and the ability to see across dimensions. Mastery over all chakra natures, shadow clones, Rasengan and Rasen Shuriken variants, which includes forms of durability negation, and Magna style Rasengan, which acts as a sealing jutsu. He has the access to the Kurama avatar, allows him to take on the form of Kurama for increased power. True Seeking Orbs, which negate all forms of ninjutsu, can take the shape of any form, and combine with other jutsus for enhanced attacks and attack the soul. He also gains access to Biju Bombs and Kurama Chakra Limbs. In Sage mode, he has access to Frog Kata, which allows him to land 2 strikes in one, bypassing durability since the energy becomes part of the enemy's body. He can summon Ma and Pa, which can perform the Frog Song Genjutsu. He has mental resistances, he's able to resist Kurama's will. He also gains access to Boya Release, temporarily amplifying his physical stats similar to the 8 gates. And he has the Chakra Reserves to allow him to fight for days on end without getting tired. Luffy possesses a rubber-like body that grants him extreme resistance to blunt force attacks, including bullets and electricity, though he remains vulnerable to slashing attacks and Haki-infused strikes. In his Gear 5th Awakened form, he gains the ability to manipulate his environment, altering it to mimic rubber-like properties while also exhibiting reality-warping cartoon physics. This form significantly enhances his strength, allowing him to overpower Kaido, but it comes with limited stamina, though he can re-enter it after a short recovery. Luffy also wields all 3 forms of Haki. Armament Haki enhances his durability and offense, with Advanced Ryo allowing him to bypass external defense and attack an opponent internally. Observation Haki grants him the ability to see a few seconds to the future, aiding him in battle as long as he remains focused. And Conqueror's Haki enables him to overpower weaker-willed opponents, functioning as a form of mind manipulation while also infusing his attacks to bypass Devil Fruit defenses, as seen against low gear users. Though Haki is finite and can be depleted, it does not kill the user, only leaves them exhausted. Despite this, Luffy has demonstrated immense endurance, fighting for hours. When comparing Naruto and Luffy in their peak forms, Naruto holds a significant advantage in attack potency and durability, directly scaling to characters like Kurama, Madara, and Kaguya, who can create and destroy dimensions with planet and stars. In contrast, Luffy's strongest feat is defeating Kaido, who at best may rival Prime Whitebeard, placing him around planetary levels. However, in terms of speed, Luffy has far more consistent feats relative to light speed attacks in One Piece, giving him an edge over Naruto. That said, Naruto's diverse abilities makes him extremely difficult for Luffy to counter. Whether through ceiling jutsus, genjutsu via frog summons, true-seeking orbs, Rasen Shuriken variants, frog kata, or Biju bombs, Naruto has several different ways to inflict serious damage on Luffy. Luffy's greatest advantage lies in his ability to infuse attacks with Conqueror's Haki, which will allow him to deal substantial damage, but Naruto's superior durability and regeneration will make it an uphill battle. While Luffy's Conqueror's Haki may exert mental pressure, Naruto has shown resistance to similar effects, such as overcoming Kurama's will. Stamina is unlikely to be a deciding factor since both fighters have immense endurance, though Naruto appears to have an edge in prolonged battles. Luffy's Observation Haki gives him strong precognition, making it difficult for Naruto to land attacks, while his Armament Haki allows him to block many standard attacks. However, Naruto's sheer arsenal of techniques and superior AP will give him far more win conditions, while Luffy primarily relies on having to wear Naruto down in a battle of attrition, a difficult feat against someone like Naruto's regeneration and chakra reserves. At Luffy's current level, he seems much more relative to a KCM2 plus Sage Mode Naruto, where he will stand a much better chance or even be superior. While Luffy may surpass Naruto by the end of One Piece, for now, Naruto wins with mid to high difficulty. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate any likes, shares, and views. You can check out my Instagram down below and let me know in the comments what you think about this fight, who you think wins, what I got wrong, anything like that. I hope you guys have a good day.